Welcome back. We're going to start this off by chatting things up with Wynn. He's got a lot of dialogue we still haven't gone through.
What's on your mind?
Tell me about the circle.
I will answer to the best of my ability.
How did you become a mage?
People don't become mages. They are born mages. The talent just surfaces later. But you are asking how I ended up at the circle. I was brought there by the Templars, just like many of the other apprentices. I don't remember very much. I was very young then.
What about your family?
I didn't have a family. I never knew my real parents. My earliest memory was of hiding in a hayloft on a farm, trying to keep warm. I was found, and the farmer's wife was kind enough not to send me away. But they had children of their own, and I was never made to feel welcome. The eldest son was the worst. He was always calling me a stray, and throwing anything he could get his hands on at me. And I don't know how it happened, but one day, he just found his hair on fire. Fortunately, there was a large trough nearby.
Now, it sounds similar to what happened with Alistair and his situation. Without the setting the hair on fire part, though. Serves him right.
He ran screaming, dripping head and all, to his mother. I was shut up in the barn, with a bowl of water and a crust of hard bread. The Templars arrived several mornings later.
What do Templars mean to you?
One of them ignored me, but the other was kind to me. He gave me sweets, and even sat me on his shoulders once, when I wanted to look over a high wall that ran along the road. I'll never forget the moment the Templars led me into the entrance hall of the tower. I had never seen anything so grand in my life. I stopped being afraid then. I knew I was home.
That was a great story. It's actually a nice positive view on the Templars in the circle.
Well, that's about all there is to my tale. That's how I came to the circle.
What was life like in the tower?
I would be lying if I said it was easy. First, there were rules, and we were constantly watched to make sure we behaved appropriately. Then there was the study of magic. We had to cast the spells just so, control the effects completely. A single word spoken incorrectly, a gesture out of sync, and lack of focus. And we needed to have perfect focus, or we would be in danger.
At least you learned the dangers of magic from the circle.
Without the circle and my mentors, I would not have been where I am today. And there was joy in life at the circle. The joys of fellowship, in knowing that you were not alone in your struggles. In spite of everything, I was happy in the tower, and I loved it.
Why didn't you want to stay at the tower?
The circle is in good hands. Irving knows what to do, and he doesn't need me underfoot. For now, I will support those that battle the darkspawn. I do feel I left things unfinished in Ostagar. There is so much left to do, and I would be part of it.
I'm glad for your company.
The Grey Wardens, all 2 of you, need all the help you can get. I will see this through to the bitter end, and after that, if I am still left standing, then I will return to the circle.
I'm sure I'll be able to return, if you so choose.
Perhaps.
Will Wynn ever return to the circle? You may never know. You know any Ferelden legends?
I know one, told to me by my mother a long time ago. It always chilled me to the bone. Maybe you have heard of Flemeth?
Flemeth? Morgan's mother was called Flemeth.
Are you sure? Was she the Flemeth of legend? Flemeth, the devourer of men? Flemeth, mother of witches? Flemeth, demon-touched, who dwells in the mists?
She didn't really introduce herself as such.
Ferelden mothers scare their daughters with talk of Flemeth. They say that if you're bad, Flemeth will spirit you away and bind you to her forever. They also say that Flemeth mourns her lost beauty and will steal yours through your looking glass if she catches you.
Tell me the whole story.
Flemeth's beauty was known throughout the land. She had hair like unto a moonless night, skin as pale as winter's first snow, and eyes as beautiful and perilous as the sea. When she came of age, she came to the attention of the Lord of Highever, Conobar, and he took her for his wife. Conobar soon learned that his young bride had the gift of magic. He kept this a secret, for he feared that she would be taken from him. Flemeth stayed with Conobar for some years, and with his blessing she practiced her art. And then one day a young poet named Osen came to the castle. Flemeth was captivated by Osen's voice, and he by her beauty, and they fell in love.
The plot thickens.
Flemeth longed to be with her true love, and she and Osen fled from Conobar's lands, seeking refuge in the Kokari wilds with the Chasing tribes. They lived there happily for many a year, till the day Flemeth received news that Conobar was dying and longed to see her face one last time. Flemeth's heart swelled with pity for the man who once was her husband, and begged Osen to return to Conobar's side with her. But when Flemeth and Osen entered Highever, they were captured by Conobar's men, and Osen was slain in front of Flemeth's eyes. Flemeth was imprisoned in the highest tower of the castle, there to await Conobar's judgment on her. Distraught at the loss of her love, Flemeth plotted revenge against her husband. She summoned a fey demon, intending for it to wreak vengeance on Conobar. But a spell went awry. The demon possessed Flemeth. Turning her into an abomination, the halls of the castle ran red with blood as Flemeth slaughtered Conobar and all his men. The last of Flemeth's humanity melted away, and at dawn, she stole back to the wilds to plot and scheme for 100 years. They say she took to her side many Chasing men, and with their help begat her daughter witches, who even now prowl the dark places of the Kokari wilds.
Yeah, we met Flemeth. Then we killed Flemeth. So, yeah. Gonna have to update your tales, Liliana. Hey.
About time, O Warden.
Oh, excuse you.
Gain senses rid.
Does he now? Oh, that man's head is missing.
Fear is your weakness.
Oh, there's someone over there? Wow.
Most traders aren't allowed into Orzammar, so they just sort of gather near the doors. There's no laws up here at all, I'm told.
So the perfect place to find an ill-gotten Qunari sword.
You hear about this son of Marek? Some bastard from Redcliffe, I hear. Are we supposed to be impressed?
If Arleman's standing up for him, I'd say we should be.
I don't know why Arleman is complicating things. I thought he would calm all this fighting down, not make everyone even more upset.
Maybe what he says is true. You ever think of that?
You been putting in work?
Why do you always go on about how stupid I am? I'm not stupid, am I?
If you need to ask the question...
Because it hurts my manly feelings, you know. Or one of them.
Then I'll be sure to write you an apology once all of this is over.
I was educated by the Chantry. I studied history. They don't make stupid Templars.
Then I must have been mistaken. I'm very impressed.
No, you're not. You're not even listening to me.
My, you are smarter than you look after all. Your Chantry must have been very proud.
So condescending to him.
You heard about all those mages in Lake Callanhard? They up and turned into a pack of demons.
No. Did the Templars kill them all, at least?
Nope, I guess they got better.
More likely working with the darkspawn to take us over.
Really?
I don't even want to think about it.
I don't think abominations work with darkspawn, dude. I think they just kind of go after whatever.
To a darkspawn, do they take prisoners?
I hear they eat you.
I heard they just got slaves. Take you underground and make you work.
You ever hear of any ex-slave? They just get sick and die, I bet.
You may be right. No surrender then.
No, we'll find out soon enough. Hey, wait.
Step right, maker's breath. Oh, beg your pardon, friend. You, startled me a bit.
You're foreign, right?
You've, heard of me?
Where is my sword?
I don't know what you mean, sir.
I'd give that to him if I were you.
I don't have it, I swear by Andraste's knickers. I sold it on the way here.
That's awfully convenient.
It's true. Maker, please, you have to believe me. If I had it, I'd give it to you. I sold it to a dwarf in Redcliffe, name of Dwin.
Wait, Dwin? I know him.
He's the one who has the sword, I promise you. Said he was a collector.
We'll see.
Yo, Dwin. We gotta talk to you.
Phew, some fight. Reminds me why I left Orzammar in the first place.
What's that?
Constant fighting. A warrior's life there is blood, ash, and dust. Though I'm not sure who's dirtier. These creatures are darkspawn.
Yo, I'm looking for a Kunari sword you bought.
Now, why would you be interested in that?
It's mine.
You know, Farron didn't mention the giant he took it from was alive.
Why don't you give up the sword and we'll go?
Excellent idea. It's in my strongbox. Here's the key. Now, why don't you leave me alone?
Can do. Then sword, a Kunari greatsword. Though its blade shows nicks from numerous battles, it has obviously been well looked after.
Strange. I had almost forgotten it. Completion. Are you sure you are a Grey Warden? I think you must be an Ashkari to find a single lost blade in a country at war.
You're welcome, Stun.
I would thank you for this, if I knew how. And I could deliver a much more satisfying answer to the Arishok's question if the Blight were ended, don't you agree?
So you're staying then?
I am one of the Beresad. I have never abandoned the field with a battle unmet.
I'm glad to have you.
Yes, it isn't every Grey Warden who has her own Beresad. I will see you reach the Archdemon. Lead the way.
Good-looking Mabari you have there.
Yes, his name is Griffin.
The Mabari is the king of dogs. Respect him and he will be your closest companion, and your most loyal defender.
I know he is. I am grateful that he chose me.
I was chosen by a Mabari myself years ago. I was one of the Ash Warriors, under the command of the old King Merrick. We laid down our lives for the king and for freedom, and my beloved Valder paid the ultimate price. Nothing was the same after that.
What do you mean nothing was the same?
They say a Mabari bonds with his human, but they often leave out that the bond goes both ways. No other Mabari could have taken his place. What is an Ash Warrior without his hound? There was nothing for me there anymore, and so I left.
I understand. The life of a warrior is a hard one.
Look at me. I'm an old man. There is no place for me on the battlefield. I know about the Blight, and were I but 10 years younger, I would fight. But my time has passed.
Then I wish you well.
Wait a moment. Perhaps there is something I can do to help. You must know about Kadas, the paint we use to create patterns on the fur of the Mabari.
Yes, I do. What about it?
I know some old patterns from a generation ago. I can teach them to you in exchange for some coin.
Heck yes. Ooh, what's going on over here?
King Loghain will not suffer the delay of his appointed messenger.
I hear Loghain.
Vieta, this land is held in trust for the sovereign dwarven kings. I cannot allow entry at this time.
King Loghain demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or whatever you call them in your assembly. I am his appointed messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled.
Hey, I have important business in Orzammar.
None more important than mine.
Your business will wait. Orzammar must limit outside influence until the throne is settled. No one gets in.
Why have your people retreated like this?
They hide because they are dwarves.
I would
Rude.
challenge any race to fare as well. Our king is dead. Endronai Dukan returned to the Stone Knot 3 weeks ago.
Oh.
The Assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not settled soon, we risk a civil war.
I am a Grey Warden. This treaty obliges Orzammar to aid me.
The Wardens killed King Kaelin and nearly doomed Ferelden. They're sworn enemies of King Loghain.
Want to fight?
Well, that is the royal seal. That means only the Assembly is authorized to address it. Grey Warden, you may pass.
You're letting in a traitor? And a foreigner? In the name of King Loghain, I demand that you execute this stain on the honor of Ferelden.
Oh, that's enough. Raise your blade if you're so tough. Loghain is the traitor who killed King Caelan at Astagar.
What? Lies and slander! King Loghain will not suffer this. I will not suffer it. I'm his messenger.
Kill each other as you will, but take your sodding fight off my doorstep.
Okay. Guess you want death. My dog will handle that mage. It was worth it.
Now we play a little.
Yeah, we're stabbing in unison. That's a good synchronization, Zev. How you know we're best friends? Guess he'll never deliver a message again. Yo, can I come in now?
You've done me a service. That fool Imrek was barking for a week. Are all humans so touched?
Clearly not.
You are free to enter Orzammar, Grey Warden. Though I don't know what help you will find.
Atrost Vala, Warden. Your arrival is a mixed blessing. We prefer that outsiders not witness our infighting, but your presence will be tolerated.
Understood.
Ah, the paragons, I believe. The dwarves worship their own ancestors, if you can believe it.
For the love of paragons, please,
Hello.
spare a few bits for an old man.
I would, but the game will not allow me to.
Now that's a thing of beauty, daughter. If you work hard like Branka, all Orzammar will know your name.
Mother, I don't want to be like her.
Don't say that! Not to me, not to anyone. Now get back to the forge. I want to see more details.
Yes, Mother.
Oh, what's that about?
All right, I've come up with one. A question that you can't answer.
Are you talking to me?
That's right. You think you're so smart. I've got an academic question that I bet you won't be able to answer.
Oh, I doubt that.
So tell me then, what was the name of Andraste's husband?
This is a religious question, not an academic one.
You're joking, right? A 5-year-old could answer that question. Do you not know more than a child?
I care nothing for your religion, and this game of yours is over.
Oh, how the mighty have crumbled.
They've got their own type of friendship going on. Sometimes, you just bully your friends out of affection.
It is the Assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or, as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew!
Handlers, separate these dashers in the Diamond Quarter. I will not have Balin incite a riot.
You'll not speak that way about the man who should be king!
The casual murders.
Idiots. I won't have fighting in the Commons, especially in front of outsiders. I find that sodden fool, I'll have him in the Legion.
What's going on, bub? Are you floating? You're floating a little bit.
Vieta, Surfacer. I'm bid to let you walk the Commons, but keep your place. Warden or not, I want order.
Yo, Blight, I need Orzammar help.
Surface problems. Well, we have no king to hear you. You can join the shouting at the assembly in the Diamond Quarter if you want. Bunch of Desher lords bickering over sand. Balin, Harrowmont. Is one so different? No paragons here.
Sounds like Balin and Haram aren't the ones to talk to.
They've caged themselves for fear of each other. As you've seen, keeping order down among us working people is dodgy. No place for a proper lord. Balin speaks through his second, Vartag Gavorn, in the assembly. Lord Harrowmont speaks through Dulin Ferender from his estate.
Does city function like this?
See, that's why I don't want you surfacers seeing our worst. You'll think that's all we are. The market is thin, but busy, and the tavern never closes. Bad blood is usually kept to the proving. Should toss Balin and Harrowmont in there, sort this all out in a hurry.
The proving?
Personal battles for honor and ancestor. I don't expect a surfacer to understand. If you must be our warden, at least know us. Go to the Shaper of Memories in the Shaperate, the true bright spot in the Diamond Quarter.
I should be going.
Yes, you should.
Oh, we gon' do that. We go do that proving. Oh, I'm gonna get that murder on so hard.
Where did they put all the rock, I wonder?
That's a good question. Narav.
Did you see that? I cannot believe what this city has come to. This would never have happened when Endrin was alive.
This Balin, is that King Endrin's son?
Aye. What a terrible burden for a father to have only Balin left of 3 fine sons. In the end, Endrin himself recognized that Balin cared for nothing but power. It was Endrin who ordered his son away from his deathbed and embraced Lord Harrowmont as his heir.
What do you know about Lord Harrowmont?
Lord Harrowmont should be our king. He was King Endrin's closest advisor, the only one he could trust. Endrin himself, ancestors welcome him, asked the assembly to endorse Harrowmont.
Why such hate for Balin?
Everybody knows he killed his brother Trian and let his father's favorite son take the blame. And many question whether Endrin died abed, as we were told, or whether Balin helped him along.
Is Harrowmont qualified to rule?
He is a good man and a skilled general. King Endrin trusted him with his life, and I will do no less.
Did you know King Endrin?
Only as a potential match for one of his sons. He was a good king, stern and fair and just.
How did he die?
He died in bed after his eldest son was murdered, and the assembly condemned his second son for it. I cannot blame him for preferring to join the ancestors in eternal peace, if Balin didn't murder him himself.
And who are you? How do you know all this?
I am Narav Helmi, 3rd daughter of the 2nd matron of House Helmi. And you, stranger, what brings you to Orzammar at such a time?
I am Audelia, a Grey Warden. I am here seeking aid.
A Grey Warden? That explains why they allowed you past the gates. What kind of aid do you mean?
I have a treaty compelling Orzammar to aid against the Blight.
A blight? Now? But our warriors are killing each other in the streets. I'm sorry, stranger. I fear there will be no aid for you in Orzammar. If you seek Lord Harrowmont's support, I suggest you talk with his trusted advisor, Dulin Ferender. He might be able to get you an audience.
I see. Back solving everyone else's problems. Once again. Now and forever.
Ancestors, guard my son, for he is lost in darkness. Mothers, keep him safe, for you know what it is to mourn.
You okay?
I'm sorry. Did you have an offering for the ancestors? Although, I can't imagine your ancestors reside in the stone.
What were you praying for?
My name is Vilda, widow of Turak of the Smith caste. I pray here every day for my son, Rak. I only wish I knew whether I should be asking for his safe return or for the ancestors to accept his soul.
What happened to him?
It was 5 years ago. He was only a youngster. He joined a Deep Roads excursion, the only smith to go with the warriors to repair their arms. He was so proud, but he got Separated somehow. When they came home, he wasn't with them.
Anyone go after him?
The captains don't want to lose anyone searching for stray men. Too many were taken by darkspawn that way.
You shouldn't abandon him. I'll look for him if you want.
How? There is no way except to brave the deep roads yourself.
I'm a Grey Warden. That's what I do.
A warden? So you could do it. Only wardens face the deep roads without a company packing them. Oh, thank you. The ancestors finally heed my prayers.
Don't get your hopes up. We could search the deep roads for decades with no sight of the boy.
Seth.
Please, find me as soon as you return.
Seth. Don't do that. You don't... Zev. Need to calm down with that. You're gonna put us out of the job.
Topsiders? Good. Get some outside gold in here. Calm people down. Make them think we should open the gates for good. The more cracks in the old way, the better. That's what Balin stands for.
Your allegiance to Balin is clear. Why?
Not your business, but I see where the gold is. He's the traditional pick, yet he wants a new way, whether some like it or not.
Some say Balin killed his father.
Just as many say Harrowmont. Neither are paragons, and the scales being equal, I go with the promise of more trade.
Sounds legit. Let me see what you got.
I'll take your gold. You're good for that.
Maker's blessing on you, sister.
May his divine spirit always light your way.
Ah, it's a great pleasure to meet a fellow believer. I'm Brother Burkle of the Red Cliff Chantry, returned to my ancestors' land to spread the chant of light.
Even in the very bowels of the earth, we hear no end of this chant.
And that is something to rejoice in, good sister. I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar.
Whose permission do you need to open a chantry?
The Shaper it controls changes in Orzammar's structure and society. I need the Shaper of Memory's permission to open a prayer meeting.
You want me to talk to him for you?
Oh, I'd hoped you'd say that. I can see the Maker's hand on your shoulder, guiding you always. Please let me know as soon as you've heard anything.
Excuse me, do you have a moment?
Yes?
You look like you're not from around here.
You could say that.
Oh, wonderful. I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle?
The Circle of Magi?
I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study.
You want to leave Orzammar?
I want to go to the Circle to study. I don't want to do magic. No dwarf can cast spells, but I don't see why I shouldn't study it. It would be a valuable exchange. Orzammar would learn of one of the great natural forces of the surface. And the Circle gains direct access to our knowledge of lyrium smithing.
Yeah, I can bring the Circle your request.
That would be wonderful. My name is Dagna, daughter of Janar of the Smithcast. Tell them I've already begun reading the Tevinter Imperium's Verticum Kadab, and it's just fascinating. Did you know the Imperial Magister Lords once had genealogies of every human family known to produce a mage child? Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now. I'll be waiting by my father's shop.
Unlikely scholar. Okay. Seems alright. Legit. She's very enthusiastic.
Greetings, and welcome to Garen Garrison's Luxury Goods Shop. Wow, there are a lot of you. And I've never seen one of those before. The things they come up with. What was I saying?
Are you alright?
Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't notice. Most people don't anymore. Or maybe they're too polite to mention it. I had a little incident a few years back. Too much time with the raw lyrium ore, you know. Maybe it was a bad vein. I cut myself and the dust got straight in the blood. Since then, it's been a little hard for me to concentrate. Except when forging, then I'm straight as an arrow. Best work I've ever seen. Look around the shop. See for yourself.
Thanks, I will.
I knew I should have stuck to common nugs. I've gone and lost them too. I'll never find them the way they skitter.
Common nugs? I don't like those. They look dirty.
No way I'm going back to that supplier in Dust Town. Guess I'm shutting it down.
These things dangerous?
You gotta boil them before roasting, but otherwise, no, safe as sand. Some people swear they make good pets. May as well leash a turnip, I say.
If I see any nugs, I'll send them your way.
Good on you, stranger. Only need one to turn this around.
The deep roads are home to the darkspawn now. Oddly, they're supposed to be safer to travel during a blight.
What's this? A human? Did we make these tunnels tall enough for humans? I'm sorry, but I cannot allow you past the front lines without Adesha's permission. And I've heard nothing of any new patrols scheduled to leave today.
Why do you need patrols?
Don't let the comm fool you. The darkspawn are down there, aren't they, Commander?
Either we finally have the edge, which I doubt, or the beasts are building up numbers for the next attack.
Actually, they've made their move on the surface.
The surface? But I thought the vermin never went up that far except
during blights. Ancestors save us if that's what's happening.
Are darkspawn the only danger in these tunnels?
Of course not. Down here, you're bound to run into giant spiders, deep stalkers, and other vermin.
Are there no dwarves past this point?
A few outposts. Legion of the Dead, mostly. Fools that they are. Some scavenger types, too.
Legion of the Dead?
It's an independent company of soldiers. They accept no command but their own. Anyone who can bear arms can join, no matter his crimes, or sanity. They hold a funeral when they join, and swear their only goal is a glorious death.
Will you let me pass?
Into the deep roads? Not without a full unit of soldiers to back you, my friend. Or Adesha's permission to risk yourself. Orzammar can't afford to lose its citizens or honored guests on casual visits to the deeps.
Alright, I should go.
Aye, for your sake, I hope you've no reason to come here again.
Unfortunately, I do, my friend. So, if I remember correctly, this is the magic bridge. It has an infinite amount of dialogue triggers on it. So, to get the party banter, anyway. So, if you wanted to see all the party banter in the game, you just keep switching out your party members and then walking back and forth over this bridge.
So, you're female, Liliana, right?
I am? That's news. When did that happen?
I just wanted some advice. What should I do if I think a woman is special and...
You want to woo her? Here's a good tip. You shouldn't question her about her femaleness.
All right, yes, good point.
Why do you ask? Are you afraid things will not proceed naturally?
Why would they? Especially when I do things like ask women if they're female.
It adds to your charm, Alistair. You're a little awkward. It is endearing.
So I should be awkward? Didn't you just say not to do things like that?
Just be yourself. You do know how to do that, don't you?
All right, forget I asked.
Yeah, if you... It's not instantaneous, but if you leave the area and come back,
Let's get started.
it will reactivate that little trigger.
Told him I don't understand why the provings aren't open to everyone. I mean, it's how the ancestors show their favor. Do they really need our help to decide who's worthy? And then he practically slapped me. Lord Dennick Helmi, honored Desher of the Orzammar Assembly, and terrible disappointment to my esteemed mother, who doesn't like me spending time in taverns. You understand what I'm saying, right? On the surface, there are no castes, and it works fine. Am I right, Warden?
I mean, things are hardly equal on the surface.
But there are those like you who see this with concern, no? Well, I've taken the time to actually talk to the other castes. You know, most smiths and tavern keeps would make decent deshers if we gave them a chance and a seat in the assembly. Orzammar are so mired in tradition, no one bothers asking if the castes are even necessary.
How does the caste system work anyway?
Badly. Oh, you're serious? Well, it's simple, I guess. The king and elected deshers of the assembly are at the top. Then it's the nobles. Then the warriors and all the craftsmen. At the bottom are servants. The casteless and criminals are below even that.
Your caste is determined by that of your same-sex parent. And that's where you stay your whole life, whatever your skill.
So you get to vote on the next king.
Me and 79 other fine, upstanding examples of how someone who's born into every privilege inevitably wants more. They're not fond of my views on equality.
Who are you voting for?
I doubt either candidate has been outside the Diamond Quarter in his life. But Lord Harrowmont seems a bit more forgiving. Prince Balin's brilliant, I'll give him that, and subtle as sin. But I don't think anything in Orzammar matters more to him than winning.
I should get going.
As you wish.
It's important to get all sides of this situation. Some people for Balin, some people for Harrowmont.
So, what is going to keep you from poisoning your target now that you have been allowed to accompany us, I wonder?
You are. You will be watching me ever so closely to make sure I attempt no such thing.
And why would I do such a thing? Sneaking into our good graces in order to make another attempt is what I would do were I you.
And here I was becoming rather fond of the idea of you watching me closely.
It would be a simple enough matter to poison the food in camp, or cut our throats while we sleep.
You seem rather charmed by the idea.
It would seem an appropriate result of sparing your life.
Ah, well, I'm sorry to disappoint you then. The next time I am spared, I will be sure to immediately turn upon my benefactors. Will that do?
I guess Zebra just, points out how silly that is. It's like, yeah, you saved my life. I screwed up. Clearly, I can't kill you, so I'm gonna try and kill you again, despite the fact I screwed up and they're already after my head. And it seems considerably safer to be with us somehow.
So the closer you live to the surface, the higher class you are. Unless you're actually on the surface.
Yep. Don't think about it too much.
You have come at a difficult time. Orzammar is ailing for want of a king.
Hello.
I heard there was a Grey Warden here. I am Dulin Forrender, second to Lord Harrowmont, King Endrin's own choice as successor. Word is spreading that the surface may suffer a blight. It is shameful we are not in a better position to help.
I have a treaty obliging Orzammar to aid against the Blight. I would like to speak with Lord Harrowmont.
In an ordinary time, Lord Harrowmont would be honored to meet you. Unfortunately, we've already caught more than one of Balin's spies approaching Harrowmont under a pretense of friendship. So I'm afraid I won't be able to take your word. If you want to speak to Harrowmont, you will need to prove he can trust you.
How can I prove I'm not working for Balin? What kind of neutral party in this system?
That's a generous offer. If you mean it, you might attend the proving today. The Deshers take it very seriously. And unfortunately, Balin found some way to blackmail or intimidate House Harrowmont's best fighters into stepping down.
They'd like me to enter the proving in Harrowmont's name.
It would certainly make your loyalties loud and clear.
And this is to be your king. One who cannot keep his own men from running like frightened children.
Lord Harrowmont does not use threats or intimidation to motivate his men. He leads by example.
Ah, I see. So it's his example they follow as they cower from this Prince Balin.
How dare you slander Lord Harrowmont?
Why should we ally ourselves with someone too scared even to grant us an audience?
I see what you mean.
Were I you, I would seek a stronger king than this Harrowmont.
Surely you don't mean Balin.
I mean, Zev, you're right. You can't have your whole, society be led by a coward.
Then you and I have nothing more to say.
All right. I mean, I don't know, man. Zeb was talking some sense.
Oh, pardon me. Were you looking for a particular volume? Not that I could really help. I don't know the libraries very well. I'm just doing some research.
Sounds important. Looking to hire help?
Not exactly, but I'm looking for any birth records from the old Ortan Tig. It fell in the last blight, and my mother's family claims to be related. If I'm an Ortan, it means I'm noble.
I'd have my own house, a seat in the assembly. Unfortunately, any records would be buried in the Tig's ruins, somewhere in the deep roads.
Yo, I'm a warden. I'm gonna end up in the deep roads eventually.
A Grey Warden? Mother always said that if anyone could find the Tig, it was the Wardens. I hear Prince Balin and Lord Harrowmont have both been sending out small teams these days. Yes, if you can find the Tig in any records, that could do it. That could prove I'm a noble. If you could. Maybe now that you're looking. It's almost too much to hope.
When I last walked this hall, Endrin was king and Orzammar was at peace. The memories often speak of the swiftness with which change overtakes us. But it is different to see it firsthand. I apologize, Warden. I should not burden a stranger with such thoughts. I am Zebor, the Shaper of Memories.
Shaper of Memories?
The Shaperate guards Orzammar's knowledge. We have preserved in Lyrium all of the records of dwarven history. The memories record all. They are how we know to which family a child owes life, how we trace lost Tigs. They ensure we forget nothing of our past, good or bad.
Oh, I would like your permission to open a chantry. I need to talk to you.
That is an odd request, especially for one so new to our city.
On behalf of Brother Burkle, a cleric of Redcliffe.
I thought so. This is not the first time he's made this plea. My answer to Brother Burkle hasn't changed. So I ask you the same. On what basis would you have me insult the ancestors and overturn 2,000 years of tradition?
The chantry's charities could greatly aid Orzammar.
What sort of charities do you mean?
The chantry will educate children of all castes.
I am not certain this is in Orzammar's best interests. Our castes have served us well, but it's possible this service could benefit our people. Very well, he may hold a prayer meeting as he requested, if not build a new temple to his god. At least the words would come from one of our own. Now, is there anything more?
Tell me about Orzammar.
We were a great empire once, outnumbering even humans and elves. We traded with your Tevinter Imperium, and our land stretched as far in the deep roads as theirs did above. Kal Sharok was capital then, but we lost too many battles. We lost our golems, and we lost our territory. Now the Empire is simply ruined tunnels filled with darkspawn.
How did you lose your golems?
The Paragon Caradon, a smith of unsurpassed genius, invented the golems. For years they were our weapon against the darkspawn. One golem is worth 12 dwarves in battle, but Caradon's Tig is far into the deep roads. When it fell, we lost his secret to creating golems. There are books about it along these walls if you would read more.
And what's a Tig?
They are to us what a colony is to surfacers.
Whereas Kal Sharok?
At the other side of the old empire. During the last blight, the kings of Orzammar knew they couldn't hold everything. They sealed the deep roads, abandoning everyone still trapped in far-flung settlements. It was the only way to survive. Kal Sharok is the only other city to outlast the blight. We only rediscovered them recently, and they still haven't forgiven us.
Yeah, let's talk about basic Orzammar.
I will settle your mind if I can, Warden.
How did the caste system come to be?
According to our legends, 7 brothers founded our empire. The youngest, Bloadlik, was the wisest and was chosen king. His children formed the noble caste. The eldest, Kiachet, trained his sons to defend their king. They became the warrior caste. Shatkyar founded the artisans. Orzatyar forged our first swords. It was Orzammar who dug the mines that became our city's foundations. The twins Koapar and Noct both founded trading houses, but Noct was wounded in battle. On his recovery, he swore to serve his brother's sons.
What about the casteless?
The casteless descend from criminals and those repudiated by their own families, or who chose to go to the surface and live by human laws. They have no ancestors to guide them and no families to claim them. They should not have been born. Their parents defied their shame and brought cursed children into the world. It's better they die young.
Dang. Seems easy for you to dismiss them.
Their births are not recorded in the memories. In Orzammar, they do not exist. Is there something more pleasant you wish to discuss?
I should go.
Your presence here has been recorded in the memories. I wish I knew what significance it has.
You'll know soon enough.
Warden, welcome.
It is always a blessing for Orzammar to host your order. I am Vartak Gavorn, top advisor to our good Prince Balin. What news do you bring?
I need aid against the Blight.
Yes, the treaty. I've seen it in the Shaper's libraries. Now the difficulty is that the treaty only compels our king, and we are sadly lacking one of those right now.
Yeah, I understand. That, like, battling the Blight is a bit more important than politics.
No one wishes this fight over more than Balin. But while it rages, Orzammar can spare no one to combat what may or may not be a new Blight.
There is a Blight happening, I swear it.
I believe you. But what are we to do? If Balin followed his heart and sent his men to aid you, Harrowmont would steal his throne. We would defeat the Blight and return to find our homeland devastated by an incompetent tyrant.
How can I convince you to help?
There might be a way. If you demonstrate to Balin that you owe Harrowmont no fealty. Harrowmont has engaged in a campaign of bribery and coercion to ensure that every house serves him. But if a neutral party, a stranger, were to approach certain key members, perhaps with irrefutable evidence of Harrowmont's deception, I'm certain my Lord Prince would show his gratitude.
What kind of evidence you need?
Harrowmont promised the same portion of his estate to two different Deshers, Lady Dace and Lord Helmy. Harrowmont can't possibly grant it to both of them, but they won't find out until after the vote is cast. I have copies of the promissory notes Harrowmont gave each of them. Once they see those, they should both reconsider their votes.
Alright, that seems doable. Where did you get these notes, by the way?
That's not important. If they ask, say you found them while searching the Shaper's libraries for your treaty.
Alright, I'm fine with that.
Lady Dace doesn't leave the quarter much, but Lord Helmy's adventurous, likes to spend his time at Tapster's in the Commons. Remember, don't tell them you got these papers from me. You learned of them and drew your own conclusions.
The Balin's dude asked me, like, something.
The assembly is in session. Enter quietly if you wish to observe.
Like, he gave me something to do that was quite a bit more, like, reasonable than, no, put yourself in mortal danger immediately to earn our favor. Also, Harrowmont being sus. He being sus, man. He's hiding away, being a coward, and now he's making double promises for votes. Nah, man, doesn't seem legit.
Your mind has gone to dust if you think we would pass such a writ. Half our houses would go broke without the surface trade.
The proposal is only effective until we have a king to ensure we are respected by the surfacers.
Leaving you conveniently positioned to take over all contracts. I'll see your head on a pike first.
Deshers, lords and ladies of the Assembly, I've already doubled the guard to prevent violence. Must I summon more?
Steward Bandalore, Balin's sympathizers are tying our hands with trivialities. They may as well open us to the sky.
I suggest we put the matter to a vote.
And I suggest you have a taste of my family's mace.
Enough! The Assembly is in recess until the members can regain control of their emotions.
So, what was that about?
Stone-forsaken fools and dusters. I'm sorry. This is the Assembly of the Clans. Only Deshers and occasional guests of state are allowed in.
You don't recognize a Grey Warden?
Forgive me. I am so exhausted. I completely forgot about the message from the gate guard. Welcome to Orzammar, Warden. I hope you can forgive our unrest. The loss of our king has hit us hard. Respect for your role is great, but you won't receive a proper hearing until we have a king on the throne.
Is there any way I can break this stalemate? A Blight is coming.
I must admit, Warden, I am at a loss myself. It lies with Prince Balin or Lord Harrowmont, and they are slow to trust anyone in these uncertain times. I only wish there was more I could do for you.
What do you want? Ah, I suppose you're the Grey Warden everyone's talking about.
Yes, I am Audelia. Are you Lady Dace?
I am. And what business would you have with me?
You might want to look at these papers.
Well, this isn't exactly a surface broadsheet. Where did you get these? Never mind. It is true enough, but there's nothing I can do about it. This deal was made on behalf of our entire house. Only my father can revoke it.
Where is he? I'll bring these to him.
He is leading a deep roads expedition, trying to secure an ancient taig. It's unlikely he'll be back before the election, but perhaps this vote is important enough for you to brave the tunnels to tell him? The Dace family would be in your debt.
How would I know where to find him?
He was searching an old Idukan site. He left me with this map, in case his expedition never returned. I'll give you a pass as well. Usually no one is allowed past the front lines. Does that mean you'll go?
Yep, can do.
So Balin's victory means enough for you to risk your life. How interesting.
It'll be 2 years tomorrow. By all the holy sodding ancestors, how can you people just ignore that?
Branka didn't go alone, Oghren. She took the whole house, everybody but you. So just get over to Tapster's and drown yourself already. You know as well as I do that's how this always ends.
You think I'm afraid of some cub warrior who's barely off the teat? Ha!
You lift a weapon or attack a single citizen in Orzammar, and you're stripped of your caste and exiled. Even you can't have forgotten that. Get out of here before I call a guardsman.
Ah. What is that about?
Can you believe it? Ogren's barely even warrior caste anymore, and he just clomps in here like he's entitled.
Who's Oghren?
Ogren's a drunken wretch. He comes up here 2-3 times a week, hounding people to lead some suicidal rescue mission after Branka. Gets quite violent about it. I'd be scared if they hadn't practically gelded him after he killed young Lord Mino.
What happened?
All Mino's son said was how unlikely it was that a bunch of smiths would return safely from the deep roads. Which is true. Ancestors preserve us. That's what the warrior caste is for. But Oghren claimed it was an insult to a paragon. Next thing, they're in a duel to first blood to defend Branka's honor. Then Oghren starts screaming and runs him through.
Oops.
It was a huge scandal. Oghren should have been executed, but he'd won honors in the deep roads. Instead, they stripped him of all weapons and forbid him from engaging in fights within city limits. If he breaks the decree, he'll be exiled.
Why does Oghren care so much about Branka?
She's still his wife, isn't she? Even if she took their entire house into the deep roads and abandoned him.
Branka was married to that drunk?
Well, before she was a paragon, she was just a smith, and Oghren was one of the best warriors of his generation.
Why'd Branka go into the deep roads?
Chasing some old treasure. She was quite secretive. Outright rude, really. She said she never asked if found a house, that she didn't care about politics, and that we were too self-absorbed to defeat the darkspawn. She actually threatened anyone who said they'd come after her.
How'd she become a paragon?
She invented a smokeless fuel that let the smith caste increase their output by nearly 1/3. Deaths from the black lung also dropped. The assembly said she had the favor of the ancestors and declared her a paragon. They moved Branka, Oghren, and all their relatives to the noble caste and founded a new house in her name.
What were you and Oghren arguing about?
It's been 2 years since Branka left. No one has ever stayed in the deep roads that long and survived. The search teams who went out found nothing, but Oghren wants to keep risking lives searching.
Huh. Alright. I should leave, then. Or you start complaining about me, too.
If you see any guardsmen, tell them Oghren was at it again.
So, I've been hearing rumors that a certain wine merchant is falling behind on his payments.
I can't imagine what you mean. I pay my expenses.
What about the expenses your good friend Jarvia incurs when providing your protection? It's not easy ensuring nothing bad happens, that no one decides to just burn everything in your store.
My store! please. I don't have much. Business isn't good. People are scared. Tell Jarvie I'll get her money.
Jarvie is not happy with your promises, old man. Now let's go inside and see what you've been holding back.
That's not gonna end well for him. I should meddle.
This is all I have right now. I could get more if I sell something.
Well, well, looks like we have a visitor. Friend of yours?
Is there a problem here, friend? Are these men threatening you?
Please, don't get involved with this. You don't know what they're like.
Then allow me to make some introductions. These are dangerous times in Orzammar, stranger. Lucky us, the merciful Jarvia is offering protection from the chaos. You're wearing some fancy stuff there. Might make you a target. So if you want the Carta's guarantee of safety, it's yours for the reasonable price of 10 gold sovereigns. Or I can't say what might happen.
Take a good look. You really want to start this?
Whoa, whoa. All right, you win. I'm not gonna die for 10 lousy sovereigns.
That's what I thought. They get one chance. You okay, bud?
Ancestors, bless you for saving my poor store. I don't know how to express my gratitude.
What do you know about this Jarvia?
I've never met her, of course. They say she never leaves Dusttown. That's the older area of the city where the casteless congregate. She's the one directing this depravity. Since good King Endrin died, they're getting bolder. They used to be a problem only in Dusttown, but now they're in the commons, shaking honest men down for coin.
What do you know about her Carta?
A band of casteless thugs. They're to blame for all the crime in Orzammar these days. They're criminals, and the children of criminals. The ancestors themselves declared them irredeemable.
The children as well. Caste divide is deep indeed.
These casteless, they're all the same. Beggars, thugs, and murderers, everyone. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm grateful for your help, but I don't think we have any more to talk about.
So, are you a very religious man, Alistair? I'm curious. I believe I heard you say you were raised in an abbey.
I was raised in a castle. I was schooled in the abbey. As far as being religious, I don't know. Not especially. What about you? Not in your line of work, I expect.
Why do you say that? I happen to be quite devoted in my way, as most Antivans are.
Truly? But you kill people. For money.
And I ask forgiveness for my sins from the Maker every chance I get. What manner of monster do you think I am?
But you ask forgiveness and then you go right on with your sinning.
The Maker has never objected. Why should you?
I have no idea.
Well, there you go. Perhaps you ought to think about asking for a little forgiveness yourself, huh?
Dev makes good points. He's got good arguments. For the Burkle.
Andraste teaches that patience is the child of wisdom, but I'm eager to hear if you've seen the Shaper.
I have. He agreed to let you hold your prayer meetings.
Oh, praise the Maker! You truly walk in the light, friend. I already found a convert among the merchants who offered his shop as a temporary chantry. It's just by the tapsters. Please, come to our first service.
I will.
Just can't get enough of our clammy mine air, can you? Did you need something?
I'm looking for Lord Dace's patrol.
I see you have his daughter's seal, so I will not stop you. But be careful. Just because the beasts have pulled back from Orzammar doesn't mean there are any fewer in the deep roads. Either we finally have the edge, which I doubt, or the beasts are building up numbers for the next attack.
Alright, I should go.
Best of luck.
Watch for the beasts!
I'll help you! Oh dang, you... This deep stock is everywhere.
Hurry! Strike and kill!
What up, Lord Dace?
You pulled us from a tight spot, friend. You have my gratitude. I am Lord Anwar Dace. So what's a human doing out here anyway?
You should look at these papers. Lord Haramont is trying to cheat your family.
What are you talking about? I've dealt with Haramont many times, and he's always been forthright. I'm not ungrateful for your assistance, but I hope you have some evidence to back such an accusation.
See for yourself. I brought these promissory notes.
I don't understand. What could... These are the terms of a deal we made with Lord Haramont, but... the charlatan. He's promised the exact same land to Helmy. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I owe you twice now. My life and my house's fortune.
Will you tell your daughter not to vote for Lord Haramont?
We will certainly not support a man who would use my family like that. I will tell everyone I know what a wretched trick Haramont tried to play. I must return now. My men need healing, and I want to look into this. Do you wish to travel with us?
No, thank you. I'm going to explore further.
Be careful, then. There are more dangerous things than deep stalkers down here.
Alright. I killed them already. And they disappeared. Alright, one down. Here's the second one.
I wasn't expecting you back. I guess you realize this is about the only fun in Orzammar?
I have news! Haramont is double-dealing you and Lady Dace.
Oh, well, I'd ask for proof, or why you care, but frankly, I'm so tired of it I'm not even surprised anymore. I don't even want the land, but my house would kill me if I turned it down. Responsibilities, you know. Now I'll have to go through the whole process of rejecting the deal. And they'll both have to try something else. And I thought it was going to be a nice day.
Oh, why vote for Haramont if you didn't want the land?
I actually thought he was the better candidate. You must think I'm pretty soddy naive, huh? They're all the same, well-dressed, blood-sucking cave ticks. I'll have to inform Mother that Lord Haramont hasn't bought our vote after all.
Haramont buying votes. Tired of all of this political nonsense. I think it's time to get some murder on, because all there was darkspawn and deepstalkers down there.
So I wonder, do you intend to take your mother's place now?
Take her place? What do you mean?
As the new Witch of the Wild. That was her title, no? When one slays the queen, it's assumed they'll take her throne.
Considering the throne is a small shack in the middle of a cold wilderness, I think I may just pass.
And why would you lie to me, I wonder?
Ah, is this the part where you hint at some subtle plot of mine, because you are so very perceptive?
So you didn't know what your mother planned until you read it in that book. That's what you said.
That is correct.
I admire you. You are a wicked, wicked woman.
And you are a fool who spends far too much time on his hair.
Zevran knows stuff is up. This is why you take Zevran with you. He knows things, man. He sees stuff. He a rogue. He got that perception and dexterity and cunning.
Ah, the highlight of underground existence, I take it.
Murder? That's above ground as well, my friend.
Watch for Piotr Naidukin. He's won the squad combat 4 years running. He has 11 decapitations so far. He needs just 3 more for the one-season record.
Guess you've watched a lot of provings then.
Front row seats at every grand proving since my father took me on his shoulders. Name's Varric. I got a controlling interest in a mine off the old Roostin Tig. But my backers know not to hand me a pick any day there's blood on the stone, if you know what I mean.
So the proving's just a tournament.
Sure. Like King Endrin was just a noble. A proving is a sacred art. Any dispute brought to the proving ground is settled by the ancestors' decision, and no one can protest it.
What are the rules?
They change from round to round. Sometimes it's bare hands, sometimes weapons, sometimes pairs or squads. It's announced when the fight begins. That's about all the warning anyone gets.
Nice. Have you ever fought in one?
Me? Are you out of your mind? I'm a miner, not a warrior.
Huh. Alright then. If you'll excuse me.
I'm telling you, Piotr will take the prize. You can put gold on it.
Can I put gold on myself? And I bet that I will be the one to win. That's a pretty good incentive.
The proving will begin shortly. I'm sure you can find a place in the stands. Or were you here to take part in the fight?
Yeah, how do I sign up?
Let me just put you into the schedule here. Now, is there a particular name you wish listed?
Ooh. I am Audelia of the Grey Wardens. I kind of would like it if they gave you like a list of cool nicknames like they did in Jade Empire.
We'll just call you Grey Warden, seeing as those human names are a real burr to pronounce. We actually have an opening in the first round. Are you ready to start?
Who will I be fighting?
Looks like Suwern's drawn first bout. He was one of the youngest champions ever. Beat his own father at 12 years old. All for the right to earn his battle status 2 years early. Are you ready to start?
Ready and eager.
That's what I like to hear. I will warn you, though. This is your last chance to make preparations or meet the competition. Once the fights begin, there are no new additions to the roster. All withdrawals are treated as losses and a sign of the ancestors' disfavor. Do you want to start, or would you like some time? The fighters' quarters are behind the ring.
Oh, if I get to go meet them before I beat them into the ground, sure.
Come back soon. You'll be fighting the bout as soon as both fighters are ready.
Alright, let's go meet our punching bags.
Didn't I say I need to concentrate? There's plenty of time to congratulate me after the fight.
I'm told I'll be fighting you in round 1.
So you're the Grey Warden? It's an honor, really a privilege. You hear so much about the Wardens. They say on the surface they're the only ones who fight darkspawn, and everyone hails them as heroes, and... are you taking recruits?
I mean, yeah, kinda. Like, not right now. We're kind of working out some things, but, yeah, sure. I'm building an army to fight the next Blight, if you're interested.
A Blight? Then that must mean you want recruits. I bet you're here to pick the best fighters. Am I right?
Oh, I'm glad you're eager. Most people here don't seem to care.
If that's true, it must be because of the king. Believe me, dwarves know their duty in regards to darkspawn. I promise, as soon as Balin's on the throne, you'll have as big an army as you need.
I'm counting on that.
Then may our fight honor Prince Balin.
Okay, alright. Cool. This dude supports Balin. He's down with the Wardens. He wants to fight. I like him.
You must be the Grey Warden. Luke John said one of you signed up.
Proving Master said the Warden wanted to test her skills.
I guess we'll have to show what kind of tricks we learn in Orzammar.
You two fight together?
We were born together. We fight together. We'll die together.
The ancestors gave us one soul, but 2 bodies. Everything we do together.
Ah, you're twins, so you also have matching coffins. Know anything about the other fighters?
We know plenty.
But we don't like to share. Watch out for Darvionic, though. They say he killed his brother.
But the ancestors favored him in the ring, so he never saw punishment.
So you're the Grey Warden Lord Harrimont brought in to replace his missing fighters.
I fight in my own name.
You haven't said you're championing Harrimont, but it's obvious Balin didn't send you. Whatever Harrimont's reasoning for wanting you here, he'll be disappointed. I've been watching you, and I must say I'm not impressed. Your stance is sloppy, and your eyes proclaim your every move. I've no doubt I could beat you. Of course, you'll never make it that far.
Oh, is that so? Alright. Alright, we'll see about that in the ring, buddy. Greetings, I'm Audelia of the Grey Wardens.
Don't take it personally. Hanashan's a member of the Silent Sisters. She doesn't talk to anyone.
What are the Silent Sisters?
They're an order of female warriors, founded by Astith the Grey, a woman of the warrior caste who first fought for women's right to be soldiers. When no one listened to her words, Astith cut out her tongue and dedicated herself to training until she won a grand proving bare-handed. The women who join her order cut out their tongues in her honor.
That seems extreme. Who are you?
I am Ferinden. I serve as Hanashan's trainer and translator. As a silent sister, Hanashan cut out her tongue like the ancient paragon Astith the Grey. As you might imagine, she requires my services for more mundane tasks.
So whose side are you two on?
The Silent Sisters support the sitting king. They are loyal servants to the Idukans.
I'm on my own side.
Then you have lost. Even in the ring, every man and woman brings an army if people support them. But she who fights without cause is only training.
Wow. Wow. Everyone's so rude. I'm not even a dwarf, man.
Fine to see you here, Warden. A number of people have told me they hope to see you in the provings. It's a rare opportunity to fight against someone so exotically trained. In fact, a few were hoping you'd take part in some informal action.
What? Informal, you mean illegal?
Assembly restricted, not illegal. All that ritual lets nobles rationalize it's not a blood sport. They don't like commoners using the arena for petty squabbles. Some of us prefer an honest spectacle. And sometimes someone needs a good beating, and all that talking gets in the way.
Not interested for now. Goodbye.
I trust you'll keep the offer to yourself.
Now I'm ready.
Good, you're back. I was about to start looking for you. Are you ready to fight? Remember, once the fight begins, the roster is final. No new additions are accepted, and all withdrawals are marked as losses.
I am ready. Let's go.
Go down to the ring then. I'll be right there. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the paragons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. First up is Sewern of the warrior caste. Many of you remember when Sewern made history as a lad of 12 by defeating his own father in this very ring. Today he fights as champion for the royal Prince Balin against a member of the famed Grey Wardens.
In the name of House Idukan and our future King Balin.
You honor me with this fight.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight!
Yeah. Didn't even need my warden power.
Is the Grey Warden. That was an exciting start, Warden. Sewern is rarely trounced, and so thoroughly. Are you ready for your next opponent?
Bring him on. Who is it?
Next, you're up against Miaja and Lukjan. As twins, they've always been allowed to fight as a single person. They're warrior caste, but their mother was a smith, so watch out for Miaja's hammer. And don't forget Lukjan. Most fighters do, and end up with a knife in their spine. Are you ready to begin?
Let's do it.
All right then, I'll see you out there. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the paragons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. The Grey Warden will face the notorious duo, the warrior caste Twin Terrors, now fighting as champions for Prince Balin, Miaja and Lukjan.
May the stone honor you.
When you fall.
May the dirt taste good when I feed it to you.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight!
Warden senses
Get wrecked.
We do not fear you!
You sure don't, because one of you was on the ground. Now you joined them.
The winner is the Grey Warden! Well, that was an exciting bout. 2-on-1, and you took them both easily. Are you ready for your next opponent?
Who it be?
Next up is Roshan, the only survivor of the Deep Roads raid to retake the Kobaliman Taig. Are you ready to begin?
Let her roll.
All right then, I'll see you out there. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the paragons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. So far, the Grey Warden has won the field, but victory is far from assured. Next to challenge that perfect record is Expeditionary Captain Roshan. Will he find Valos Atreidim and defeat the Grey Warden?
It does me great honor to face you, Warden.
The honor is mine.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight!
You have great skill. I am impressed.
The winner is the Grey Warden!
Dropping like flies.
Better and better, Warden. I never would have guessed you could triumph over Captain Roshan. Are you ready for your next opponent?
Who is it?
Pick a partner, because this will be paired combat against Davianic and his second Oleniv.
Ooh.
Davianic's been a feared fighter in this arena since he was accused of murdering his own brother. He fought to prove his innocence. When the ancestors cleared him, he went on to be a 4-time Grand Proving Champion. Are you ready to begin?
Ah, heck yes. Point me to the right direction.
All right then, I'll see you out there. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the paragons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. This round is paired combat. Just as Kiatchet fought as King Bloodlik II defending our empire, so have dwarves always fought alongside a second. Grey Warden, choose your second, for now you face Lord Davianic Volney and Oleniv.
I choose. Oh man, I could go Zev, or I could go Alistair, and we can rep the Grey Warden super hard. But you know who would really enjoy this more? Zavron! Get in here.
Last one standing will be declared victor. Fight!
Let's get him!
This should be easy enough.
Time to dance.
Easy.
The winner is the Grey Warden! You prove yourself a master of paired combat, Warden. I congratulate both you and your second. Are you ready for your next opponent?
Give me a name.
This is the championship round. A full squad-on-squad combat. Piotr Naidukan leads the same team he's taken to victory in over a dozen Deep Roads expeditions. Are you ready to face the final test?
Ready to win that title.
May the ancestors choose wisely. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the paragons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. Only 2 warriors remain. Fighting for his royal cousin Balin, Piotr Naidukan has led his team to triumph over every unit so far. Challenging him, the Grey Warden came from nowhere, cutting a swath through Orzammar's finest warriors. Each will lead a full unit of 4 soldiers to see once and for all whom the ancestors favor.
You fight well. It will be a pleasure seeing you fall.
The pleasure is all mine.
Last one standing will be declared victor. Fight!
Let's rock 'em.
The winner is the Grey Warden! Congratulations! You defeated the man Prince Trian himself once called the Horns of my army. Do you deny this Grey Warden has earned the championship? Then I am pleased to announce the Grey Warden as the winner of this memorial proving, the favorite of the ancestors.
It was an honor. I take this glory for the Wardens.
Through this day, we affirm the friendship between our city and your order.
Yeah. How you like that?
So, if the legend of your mother is true, Morrigan, does that mean that the legends of her many daughters are as well?
To be honest, I have no idea. I've never met any sister of mine, nor has my mother spoken of any.
But it could be true, yes? If you exist, there could have been others like you.
Long ago, perhaps. Why?
We have legends of witches in Antiva. One that tells of a witch of the wild, traveled far from her home to settle in the Tellery swamps.
And? You thought I might know this woman?
If one legend can be true, why not another? Who knows how many Morrigans are scattered about Thedas, hmm?
It's not something I'd like to contemplate.
Oh? You do not appreciate a little competition from a half-sister or two?
Silence, elf. It is none of your concern.
She's concerned. He's so concerned. Bartog, mission complete.
Lady Dace just came through the quarter on a tear. She's telling everyone who'll listen what a leech and a liar Harrowmont is. Good job. So you were serious about wanting to help us. Are you ready to meet Balin now?
I'm ready. Take me to him.
I warn you, be on your best behavior, and keep your weapons sheathed.
I am impressed, Warden. Not many outsiders so quickly grasp Orzammar's rather convoluted politics. I am Prince Balin. Fartag told me of your efforts against the usurper who tried to claim my father's throne.
Yeah, your politics are dumb. Which is similar to most politics. But anyway. All I care about is getting troops to face the Blight.
Then we have a common goal. We may not like each other, but the Blight is our first priority. We need absolute unity to fight against the fulcrum of true evil.
Then you'll honor your agreement with the Wardens.
Absolutely. And sworn on the mail of my ancestors, as soon as Orzammar is united under my rule. Unfortunately, while this debate rages, I have no power to send the troops you need. You've seen for yourself, the city is a slaughterhouse. Criminals run lawless. I could never hold the throne if I allowed such chaos.
Right. How can I help you take the throne?
You have struck a blow against Harrowmont already, and I thank you for that. But there is another faction in play here. Have you heard of a woman named Jarvia and the Carta of Criminals she runs?
Yeah, I chased off some of her thugs already.
They know Orzammar is divided now and has no time for them. It's made them bold. If I show the city I can eliminate such a threat, well, let's just say my position would be stronger.
And let me guess. You want me to go shank Jarvia?
I'd never ask for such a thing, but if you do eliminate Jarvia and her thugs, you would have my gratitude. And my promise that as king I will send as many troops as you need to fight the darkspawn. Unfortunately, I have little information on Jarvia. Her base of power is in Dust Town, the lowest part of the city, and my men have few sources there. Maybe the castless will talk more freely with a stranger.
I will look into it. That's all I can promise.
That's all I can ask. But I can be of no help until this problem is solved. And every minute we wait, more darkspawn swarm into human lands.
This is true. Alright. Let's go murder the Carta boss.
Balin has corrupted the Warden. End this for Harrowmont.
Bruh.
This part killing yourself would have more dignity. Shame.
Let's get started.
Now you're sending goons after me.
You go.
You have some people already.
Welcome to what will soon be Orzammar's first chantry. The chant of light will reach all corners of the world. We will never forget who made this possible.
I serve only Andraste.
May her memory live forever.
Good for them. I hope things turn out okay.
Let me guess. This is where the poor people live.
That's a good guess, Alistair.
There's a rich one. We get plenty for their kin once we cut them out of it.
God.
Really? I just got here. Time to assert dominance. Get him! I need to go over there. Yeah. How'd that work out for you? Now you're decapitated. You didn't have anything good on you. Hello, sorry about the mess.
Who are you? You don't look like any guardsman I ever saw, and that's not much of a uniform.
I am Audelia, a Grey Warden.
Oh, you looking for a chance to bring in some coin? Could be I have that opportunity, especially for someone with a few connections above ground.
I'd have to hear what you're asking.
No offense, but your kings have some laws that don't make sense in a practical kind of world. Like about who gets to buy and sell lyrium, the sacred gift the stone provides us to show her love. No law should regulate that. The laws are meant to keep mages away from the stuff, so there's always buyers in the Circle Tower. I got one man named Godwin. He's expecting a delivery of a stone's weight. You want an investment opportunity? I could see fit to, say, sell you that lyrium instead, at the reasonable price of 50 sovereigns. You can keep it, or, since you can travel freely from here, sell it to Godwin, who you know is buying. And if you bring back his return order, I could pay you, say, 20 sovereigns as a finder's fee.
This sounds like a racket. Huh. Must be dangerous if you're paying so much.
More so for someone like you, I guess. Most dwarves born down here have a natural immunity. Other races, there are problems if they spend too long with the ore. The real issue is that lyrium's valuable. It's only found down here, and human mages can't work without it.
I don't have that kind of money right now, bro.
Long as you keep your eyes down and your mouth shut, we've got no further business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounded like a scam. I pay you 50. And then you send me with delirium, and then I'm supposedly supposed to be paid 50 back, at least. And then I come back and you give me 20. Okay. Without me seeing what the order is. Seems a little sus. Oh.
What are you looking for? We got nothing to buy for the likes of you. Or maybe you wanted to sell.
Doesn't look like a store.
Well, our business is kind of covert, if you know what I mean. It's illegal in Orzammar for me to engage in protected trade, but they look the other way if I share things with my friends. For money.
Alright, let's see what you got.
Why don't you take a look?
Your clothes are so fancy. Did you get them topside?
Yes, I did.
My mam used to say they don't got no stone to protect them topside. If I go up there, I'm gonna fall into the sky.
No, it doesn't happen.
Yes. When my dad left, he never came back. Who's to say he didn't fall up, eh?
Yep, I gotta go.
Don't fall into the sky when you go back up there.
Well, look at that. It's not often old Nadezda sees a fine-dressed stranger here in Dust Town. Help a poor cripple.
What do you give me in exchange? We're in the poor town, bro. Might have money if you have information, though.
What are you looking for?
Know anything about the Carta?
Know it? I lived it, my friend. And let me tell you, it's worse now than in my day. Jarvia took over the Carta not more than a year ago, and already she's got every duster with both legs bearing swords for her.
Try to have a base anywhere?
They do, but it's not easy to find. Jarvia's got real paranoid. She's got Carta members all carrying these fingerbone tokens. She scratches some mark into them so she'll know they came from her. There's doors to her base all over the city, but only one is ever open at a time. And if you show up without a token, you'd never know it was there.
Where do I find one of these tokens?
Can't help you there, Selrocka. The Carta members keep them real tight. Now, how about that coin you promised?
10 silver. Take care of yourself. That was very muffled for some reason. Okay.
Spare a bit for the needy? Please. It's not for me, it's for my child. Have you a coin to spare, milady? It's for my son. He's sick. He hasn't any clean clothes to wear or anything to eat today. Neither have I.
I could help you if you have some information.
What information? I don't know anything. Unless you want the names of every mining family in Orzammar. That's what I was. Before.
Before what?
Before my family cast me out and disowned me. Unless... But no! I can't bear to even think of it!
What's wrong?
My name is Erlinda. I wasn't always like this. I was born to a mining caste family. We weren't wealthy, but I never went hungry before. Now it's all gone, and it's my own fault. Ancestors curse me, but there's nothing I can do to set it right.
What happened?
I fell in love. He seemed so exotic, you know, tough and smart, and never had to bow his head to anyone. He was casteless, and I know he was just trying to father a higher caste child so he could petition for status. But our child was a son, casteless like his father. My parents disowned me and stripped my caste from me. Unless I agree to abandon the child in the deep roads and pretend I never bore him.
Jesus. That is extreme.
I cannot abandon my baby. The Shapers teach that only children of true lineage exist, not those born casteless. But they never carried a child. He cries like any other infant, and smiles when he's warm and full. I can't kill him because of an accident of birth, an accident I forced on him.
You know what? Screw your family. Take your child to the Chantry. They help children in need.
I heard as much. There was a man speaking on the street, talking about the human religion. He called himself a cleric. Said he could help me.
Could also take the sun to the surface. That's another thing you can do. Just completely ditch Orzammar. You can also take your son to the surface.
I thought about that. They say there's no caste up there. That humans don't care about lineage. I've never met a surfacer, though. I thought it might not be safe.
It will be hard, but you can make a life there.
I'm not afraid of hard work. Only of being somewhere with no chance to do it. If it gives my son a chance to live, I will go. Thank you, stranger, for opening my eyes. Perhaps I'll see you next in the light of the sun.
Yeah, screw this place and everyone in it. Get out of here, girl.
Well, look what we have here.
Jarvia said you were looking for trouble. Congratulations. You found it.
I don't have to find trouble, I am trouble.
Let's get started.
Good shot. Don't kill me. Sorry ancestors. What do they teach you on the surface? You fight like a bleeding archdemon.
Maybe I am.
3 bloody stone, look at them all.
So why don't you tell me how to find Jarvia, or you can join them.
The base is below the city. You can get to it through the wall of the 3rd house on this row. Put this token through the slot, and it'll open. Well, will you let me go now?
Yes. And you won't want to be at Jarvia's when I get there.
Really? Oh, thank you. You're a good person. How do they say it? The ancestors have shown their favor. Bless you.
Get out of here. This door appears to be made of solid stone. There are no visible means of opening it. On closer inspection, there's a small slot concealed in a fold of the stone, just big enough for a finger. Put finger bone token in slot. Door unlocks.
What's the password?
Uh-oh. Jarvia sucks lizard eggs.
Looks like we have a martyr, boys.
Yeah, you!
Let me out. I see you bear no love for Jarvia.
Please, help me.
I'm a little busy here. Give me a bit.
Is it just me, or do you actually think you have a chance?
I'll leave this body over here. Is the dwarf commoner origin. Did not make it out of the jail cell if you do not pick that origin. Here you go.
Please, stranger. Let me out. I see you bear no love for Jarvia.
Please, help me.
I unlocked it, bro. Look.
Thank you. We've been down here. It's been so long. My friend didn't make it. Just stopped eating one day, and all for a stupid bet.
Bye.
So Balin finally realized his throne means nothing if he can't hold it, yet he still doesn't bother to send his own men. Well, you picked the wrong side, stranger. It doesn't matter who's king, as long as there's a queen.
Someone's full of themselves. You're awfully cocky for someone whose entire Carta is completely dead.
You'll pay for their deaths 100 times over. Kill them! But leave the pretty one alive. I have plans for her.
Trap!
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to wear your pretty teeth around my wrist!
That seems excessive. Alistair, please don't trigger the trap before I can...
God! By all the beards of my ancestors! How did you... Where did you come from? You made a hole in my wall!
Sorry, but, like, that hole was already there and it leads to, the Carta's hideout.
It does? Oh, sod it. If people find out about this, my business will be ruined. They'll think I have something to do with Jarvia.
Oh, don't worry about it. Jarvia's dead.
Dead? How? Did you... You did, didn't you? You killed her. And then you climbed out of there into my shop. Oh, just leave me alone. I don't want anything to do with this. And if anyone comes asking, I'm gonna tell them you did it.
I mean, I'm probably gonna go around telling everyone anyway. Apparently I have something for you.
You again. Here to buy something, or were you just thinking of wrecking another part of my shop?
Janara, do you have a daughter named Dagna?
Has she been bothering you? Gets a whiff of surface stink, and she's like a cave tick. Won't let go.
No, she hasn't been any bother. I'd like to help her study with the mages.
Do you even know what that means? If Dagna goes to the surface, she forfeits her caste. She'll never be able to marry or work in Orzammar again. Dwarves don't do magic. Dagna knows that. It's just a childhood fantasy that dies hard. Please, if you see her, send her back and let me talk some sense into her.
Nah. We go send her to that mage tower.
The warden is
Not again.
We can't allow it.
Well, you've simply outdone yourself. They're talking all over the city about how someone finally went through Dusttown and slaughtered the Carta like genlocks.
That's what I do. So, how about them troops?
Not yet. Killing Jarvia brought me greater favor. But to truly displace Harrowmont, we'll need something dramatic enough to end the debate forever. What do you know of the paragon Branca?
He disappeared in the deep roads.
She is the only paragon in 4 generations, and she turned her back on her responsibilities. A paragon is like an ancestor born in this time. If she returned, her vote would outweigh the entire assembly. Anyone with her support could take the throne unchallenged.
So you hope to bring her back to endorse you for king?
I hope you will bring her back to endorse me as king.
What made you think Branca's still alive?
She had an entire house with her, dedicated to her protection. With the number of ruins still intact, they could last for a long time. And Harrowmont is looking as well. It's too risky to assume she's dead only to have him take credit for finding her.
Do you think she would support you as king?
I was hoping you could use your legendary charm to persuade her that the rightful king should take the throne. However, if the deep roads have addled her wits, it might be best she not return before the kingship is decided.
Are you saying I should kill her?
I would never say that. She is a paragon. It is my duty to protect her. On the other hand, we must respect her decisions. Should she prefer to stay in the deep roads rather than help her rightful king take the throne, we must assist her. By any means necessary.
Alright, I'll find her for you.
Then we will both go down in history as a paragon's saviors. So far, my men have traced Branca to Caridin's Cross, an ancient crossroad lost to the darkspawn 4 centuries ago. Her trail ends there. Perhaps with your warden's expertise, you can find what my men could not.
Where's Caridin's Cross?
You must enter the deep roads through the mines. To protect the city, that's the only path we leave open. Caridin's Cross lies many miles deep into the tunnels. It was once a main thoroughfare, but before Branca, no one had stepped foot there in generations.
Alright. I'll leave now to find her.
You have my thanks. Seek her in Caridin's Cross. I will try to delay the vote until you return.
Anvil of the Void. Paragon of her kind. So that's it for this one. That'll be the end of Orzammar, technically. Because next we're going into the deep roads proper. And that's gonna... It's gonna be just as long as this. I'm gonna cut a bunch of extra stuff out. So it should be shorter than expected. But yeah, it's gonna have to be 2 parts, otherwise it's gonna be absurdly long. Next we're going into the deep roads to find Branca and bring her back so we can get this king business settled and finally get our last group of armies for our fight against the Blight. See you in the next episode of Dragon Age Origins.